Have you ever really thought about it? Really thought about it? We see the paintings, we hear the stories. A man named Yahusha, or Jesus. We're told he did all this in a very specific part of the world. A place with deserts, with olive trees, with a history that feels as old as time. A mental movie that's been playing for 2,000 years. It's set in the Middle East, right? But here's a question to stir the pot. What if the location was a bit of a typo? A historical misdirection? What if the backdrop wasn't where we think? Imagine the world's biggest game in the wrong stadium. Then learning it happened on a different continent. It makes you wonder what else you missed. Sounds like a Nicolas Cage plot, I know. This isn't about challenging anyone's faith, just curiosity. As a kid in South Africa, I learned these stories and wondered. We all learned the Holy Land story in Sunday school. Jerusalem, the Western Wall, the Sea of Galilee, dusty roads, ancient stone, sun-baked hills, pilgrims, scholarship, archaeology, overwhelming evidence. But a curious mind still stress tests the story. A land flowing with milk and honey, and mineral wealth. Vast lands, resources, specific flora and fauna. Does every detail truly fit the modern map? Or are we cramming the foot into the wrong shoe? Think cold case. Recheck every clue. Did anyone check the alibi of that other continent? At first absurd, until curiosity digs deeper. Let's press pause and ask one crazy question. Are we sure we got the location right? Some folks are studying a different map. They're looking south. Way, way south. At the tip, the scenery starts to look familiar. They're connecting dots most of us never knew existed. Maybe the story's setting was right where I learned the toi. All right, hold on to your hats. This story takes a sharp left. That quiet character? South Africa. The theory in its simplest form, location swap. Sounds like too many coexisters, but hear me out. Independent researchers treated the text as a geo-guide. They noted rivers, mountains, climate, and resources, then compared scale. A northern desert, and rolling fertile south. A specific configuration of rivers. Immense mineral wealth. Gold, diamonds, gemstones. Not mainstream, but methodical. They suggest translators mapped names to the known Roman world. Picture Moses, maybe not the same sea after all. Maybe Yahusha walked the KwaZulu-Natal Midlands. Shakespeare in a Soweto shebeen. Wild, but intriguing. It makes you want to learn more. A complete paradigm shift of setting, not story. The Bible gives surprising geographic detail. A river from Eden that separates into 4 headwaters. Pishon, Gihon, Tigris, Euphrates. Traditionally, 2 are in Iraq, 2 remain mysteries. Researchers point to the Zambezi Basin, Kafue, Luangwa. Pishon through Havilah, where there is gold. Southern Africa fits. Witwatersrand, one of history's great gold fields. Text often implies wilderness to the north, fertility to the south. In southern Africa, Kalahari north, fertile regions south. The layout looks like a flipped match. Big river and vast northern desert start making sense. Mount Zion anchors tradition. Proponents point to the Drakensberg, Dragon's Mountains. Serpents and dragons often signaled power in ancient texts. It's about scale, the epic vibe the text evokes. The Bible's grandeur meets southern Africa's proportions. Is a sea always a sea? Gariep Dam, a true inland sea. Imagine walking on water, calming a storm, on this scale. Boat trips between lakeshore towns, suddenly plausible. Jordan today can be modest. Gariep is immense. If Jordan was the great river, the crossing changes scale. A crossing worthy of the narrative. Cultural echoes, names, artifacts, practices, dietary laws, purification, oral traditions, parallels abound. The Lemba claim ancient Israelite descent. Genetics found priestly markers among Lemba men. They don't prove the whole theory, but they matter. Now, Ophir. Solomon's navy brought back staggering gold. 420 talents in one voyage. Southern Africa is mineral-rich beyond measure. Advanced gold work here long predates colonizers. Proponents see fleets reaching the far south, a global trade web older than we imagine. Stone cities whisper of wealth and networks. Ophir's list maps neatly to southern African resources. It reframes Solomon from regional king to global trader. On one side, Team Israel. 2,000 years of tradition and scholarship. A mountain of archaeology. The faith of billions and visible continuity. You can go. You can see. On the other, Team South Africa. The challenger. A text-first approach, matching terrain regardless of tradition. They argue scale, climate, and layout fit better. A colossal case of mistaken identity, but no direct archaeology ties it down. It leans on interpretation. But the scale mismatch remains a nagging issue. Eden's rivers still puzzle scholars. Ophir's location, still unresolved. Do you keep the 95% solid story, or test the 100% neat theory with zero proof? The South Africa theory ties loose ends, radically. It asks for a leap of faith in a different direction. Maybe the value is the comparison itself. This isn't about winners, not about Israel being wrong or South Africa right. It's about the joy of asking, what if? Seeing familiar landscapes in a new light. Go back to the source. Read with a geographer's eye. The rivers, the mountains, the flora, the fauna. It turns faith stories into a living mystery. It connects worlds you thought were separate. Real, ancient links exist. Maybe more than we know. Maybe the Holy Land traveled as ideas and people moved. Asking questions is never wrong. Let your imagination wander. Drift south to a land of gold and mountains and stories of its own. You don't have to believe it. Just be curious. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions and seeing where they lead.